Good morning, this is Justin, and today we're going to actually go over how you clock in and how you use Homebase. This is what you're going to use for all of your scheduling, all of your clocking in and out, all that kind of stuff. And so we're going to do a quick overview, and if you have any questions from here, you can reach out to our team members here or your manager for more assistance. But in order to pull this up, we're going to go to joinhomebase.com, and it's going to bring you to this screen. You'll get an email before you start your training with your login information for Homebase. It's going to be your username at callporter.com. So whatever your email address through Callporter is. So for example, mine's Justin at callporter.com is what you're going to see. So what we're going to do from that email is it's going to give you a option to go in and then set your password. And it's also going to give you your clock in code as well, which you're going to need. So you're going to need to make sure that you save that clock in code. It's going to be your PIN number that you're going to use to clock in. So that way you have that information. So for me, for our test account, we're just going to log in with a different email, password, and we're going to sign in. Now, once you sign in, it's going to go and welcome you back, of course, here. This is for Joe Schmo. He's the the training person. And first thing you'll see here is you're going to see your schedule here. So there's a couple different ways you can look at this and view it. You've got your schedule, some things coming up here. So we've got Friday and Saturday. This guy's working 14 hours a day, so he's pretty busy. You can request a cover. You can trade a shift with somebody. So if you're going to be sick or you need to trade a shift with somebody after your 90 days, of course, as we talked about on the page before, you can go ahead and do that in here. You've got your week here, kind of at a glance, what your scheduled hours are for this week versus last week, what your estimated wages are, your actual hours, and your actual estimated wages versus last week. You can go and view all your timesheets. You've got your upcoming time off. So a lot of different stuff here. So if you want to go in and request time off, you can click here, request time off, put the whole day, half a day if it's for certain times, but then you select the date, the category. If it's vacation, make sure if you have paid time off, you select paid time off so we can categorize that correctly. And you've got the rest of the other options here, and then a reason that's going to get submitted to our manager for approval. Now, what you'll also see is when you do a trade shift, if you want to trade a shift with somebody, you can select who you want to trade it with. Generally speaking, these are going to be pre-selected or pre-discussed, I guess you could say, with the representative. So let's say you and Shelby are going to switch shifts next Saturday. You're going to go ahead and select that and initiate a trade. And this is going to keep track of that trade. You can add messages. This is going to go for the schedule that's posted out. So if you want to trade with Jasmine on Friday, February 8th, you want to trade that shift, you'd select that box and initiate the trade. If someone initiates a trade with you, you're going to see that here at the bottom. This is where you're going to check that. A couple other things here. You can go through, cycle through your different shifts by selecting on the dates. We generally try and keep it updated for a month out, three weeks to a month out, to make sure that you have updated information in there. When you log in, you're going to see this account completedness here. You can click here, add your mobile number, certificates, add a photo, add your weekly desire hours if you want to. So that way you can go in and put that information. If you're a full-time rep, don't need to worry about this. We've got different notifications up here or requests that will show up here under this bell. The chat feature, we're not going to ever use in here. We use Slack for all of that, which we'll get to later, but chat feature isn't something that we ever use in here. All right. Next tab we're going to look at is the schedule. So you can look at the actual schedule here. This is going to show what the entire schedule is for the week for all of the employees. So you can see when other people are working. So if you do need to switch a shift with somebody, or you're, bored and you just want to see when everyone's working, you can go in here and see when people are working, if there's time off that's approved. If you ever see it in red, that means you're going to have some overtime that week. So this guy is working 14 hours a day, so he's going to have naturally some extra overtime. You can look at the week, you can look at the month, you can look at the day, you can change the dates here. You can also go to your availability, which is going to go in and show where you can add in availability. We don't generally use this because your hours and stuff are set by management, so this isn't really a feature you're going to use, but if something ever changes, we'll let you know on how to use this section here. Next tab over is going to be your timesheet. So this is going to show when you've been clocked in, how many hours you worked. It's going to show the dates, your wage rate, your time card, how many hours you were scheduled, what your actual hours are, so on and so forth. Give you different metrics here so you can kind of see what your paycheck's going to be, what you're going to be expecting, minus taxes, of course, so that's not going to be included in here. But this will kind of show you where you're at. You can, again, change the dates. This was for the month of December. We can change it for the month of January. You can look at detail, summary view, day view, a couple different ways you can do it. Now, if we want to go into your time clock, this is how you're going to actually clock in. So right now, you guys don't have the access to clock in on a tablet or mobile since you guys all work from home. So you'll just have to scroll down and do computer with a web browser. Click on this option, and you're going to launch the web time clock. So it has your PIN right here, 001706. This was also sent to you via email. We're going to go to time clock. This is showing who's already been scheduled or who's already been clocked in and who's scheduled. So we're going to click on the actual time clock option here, put our PIN in, which is 001706. Once you press submit, it's going to say your scheduled shifts for today. You're going to clock in. And it is now going to give you a little welcome message here. But now it has you actually clocked in. So here you can see the status paused. This means they're working. So paused is usually when you're on lunch. Okay. When it comes time for lunch, what you'll do is you'll click on the time clock again. You're going to put your PIN in again, which is 001706. Press submit. And you're going to either clock out for the day, or if you're taking lunch, you'll simply just click on the take a 60-minute unpaid break. So it's nice and easy. It's going to automatically add an hour in for your break. There you go. You're done. Now it has you on pause. And again, time clock. We're going to end that break. And one last time, we're going to clock out for the day. And we will go ahead and clock out. You can rate your shift if you want. It's an amazing shift. If you have any comments, most people don't fill that out, but if you want to, you can. All right, so that shows we're done. You can go and look at the schedule from here as well. You can look at the team. Kind of shows you who the different employees are. So we're up to 19 employees at this point. And this is essentially the time clock portion of it. So we can go back to Access Dashboard. This is going to take us back to the original section here. So, all right, mine's a little different because I have my personal use on here. So I'm just going to log back in. And I think the last couple things we'll show here is you can go in your settings. You can add your information if you want your phone number in here, your zip code, language preference. You can put emergency contact info in here, availability. You can set your alerts and notifications. You can have it send you text messages, Android notifications. If you have the app on your phone, it will notify you when your shift is starting. It will text you when your shift is starting or when you're late. It'll let you know. It also texts managements and owners if we have a rep that is late for a shift or if they miss a shift. So we get notifications as soon as someone misses a clock in time. So it's super important to make sure that you're clocking in on time. And again, this is pretty much just the roster here on the team side. So this has been an overview here of Homebase. If you have any questions after this, let our manager know. Her name's Cassie Jones, and you can reach her at cassie@callporter.com. but pretty self-explanatory. In the future, if you need to go back to this video, you can go in and search in Learning Zen for Homebase. Thank you.